At the start of I Am Legend, a doctor appears in a televised interview. This lady doctor publicly declared that we had discovered a cancer cure. When the interviewer inquires, "How many patients have you treated up to this point?" The doctor, Alice, then reacts, "About 10 million units." And they're all able to restore, signifying that their treatment was totally successful. The interview is finished and the story is shown after 3 years. Here we see an American city named Manhattan that was completely deserted. Many of the cars were parked there, but nobody was present there. Buildings were empty, bare, and no human was seen at the same time. We see a red-colored Coring, which was coming in real speed. Will Smith, who is the main hero of the movie, was there. In car along with his dog, Dot. We see that they were hunting deer in while driving speedily. Deer was running speedily and they were following him. After a lot of struggle, when they were about to hunt the deer, a lioness appears, and she snatches the deer and hunts it. Will Smith possessed the skill to vanquish the lioness and capture the deer, had he chosen to do so. But he ignores it as evening prevails and his arm watch alarms. The purpose of alarm was that he had to reach home and ignore everything and should reach the home. Definitely, Will Smith had to reach home because as no humans were present in the city, but many of the mutants were present in the city. In this film, mutants were named as Dark Seekers. These Dark Seekers emerge only at night, unable to tolerate daylight. That's why Will Smith. Alarm rings and he goes back to me. He has reached back home, where he and his dog take meal together, and they seal the home completely. All the doors were locked. All the lights were kept off to ensure that the Darkseekers would remain unaware of anyone's presence. Will Smith loves his dog very much. They were sleeping in the same bathing tub, and many Darkseekers were talking outside. Now the movie goes to flashback, in the flashback of the story. We see Will Smith with his family, and he takes her daughter and wife to the airport. Will Smith instructs her wife to plan a meal for at least 2 weeks in advance, and take out money from the ATM and keep it with yourself. He also tells his wife that Army would seal this area in an hour. Her wife gets much worried and asks whether this virus is spreading through air. Will Smith had known nothing about, but he replies, yes, maybe it's true. And they reach the airport and see many people were present over there because everyone had to save their life by moving towards a safe place outside the city. But airport security allows only those people who are not affected, so that this disease may not spread to other cities. Here, we see that security people were using a unique kind of machinery, which can determine whether or not this person is infected. Will Smith's child gets cleared from the machine, but his wife was badly infected, so the security stops Will Smith's wife from going from there, now. As is Will Smith was a senior officer, he asks for his wife to let her go and orders to check his wife again. The machine clears her wife for the second time, which means the machine tells that she has no virus. Now she can travel to another city. As Will Smith was a senior officer, so a helicopter was arranged for his family. When one helicopter flies toward another coming from the opposite direction, was attacked by the Darkseekers. And the other helicopter strikes the helicopter of Will Smith's family after being unbalanced, and both the helicopters crash at the moment. All passengers inside the helicopters die. In which his wife and son were included. Now we see Will Smith in the lab, preparing medicine for infected people. He was running different experiments. This lab also had many infected rats inside. So that to check and test the medicine Will Smith was making, whether it works or not. During the experiment, he also assesses whether the rats that received treatment earlier have been cured or not. But during the experiment, it was concluded that rats were not healing, in fact very aggressive, and the medicine was not working on them. During this problem, Will sees Rat. It was sitting calmly and never aggressive as other rats. Will Smith considers her medicine to be working on that rat. Because it didn't show any reaction, he decides that this is the right time to run the experiment on humans so that people could be saved from the infection. Those who have changed to dark seekers may be brought back to humans. The story is returned to its original dot where he is alone in Manhattan. One thing he does regularly is that he goes outside and sends signals from FM radio that if any human is listening to him and wants help, then I'm present. I can provide meals and shelter. He hopes that someone would listen to him and contact him. He believes that I'm not alone here. Someone else could be present here who could listen to me, and I would meet him, or he should. He also announces his availability on a bridge at 12 p.m. I will meet you there every day. Now Will Smith sees another deer for hunting. He and his dog approach near a room. While following the dog, there was much darkened there. Will Smith doesn't want to go there, but his dog enters the darkened room. As Will Smith likes his dog very much, so he enters the darkened room for his dog. His gun had a light that was helping him find his dog. Here he finds his dog and asks him to go along with him to home, but his dog was too much scared, and Will Smith hears some voices from the room. When he looks around, he sees Dark Seeker means those mutants. Before he attacks him, Will Smith sieves him with bullets. He takes his dog and attempts to flee. While other Dark Seekers listen to him and pursue him, Will Smith is running to save his life that a Dark Seeker appears. That he breaks out the window and jumps to be saved from his attack. Now, as the window breaks, the Dark Seeker dies of light, who is following him, as we have told before that. Dark Seekers can't face light, so they don't appear in the light, because they die as the light appears. Good news for Will Smith was that he knew Dark Seekers were present there. He thinks of capturing one Dark Seeker, which would help him testing against them, so that I may develop medicine as early as possible and could heal them. Now, Will Smith makes a trap so as to capture the Dark Seekers. He asks his dog to remain in the car as he could be infected. Here, Will Smith doesn't talk about himself, as he was taking doses on a daily basis, so that he could be saved from infection. Eventually, he discovers that a Dark Seeker was caught in a trap. Now the Dark Seeker was under control of Will Smith, but we see that a mutant appears from that darkened room window. He shouts out loudly like he wanted to take revenge on him. Now Will Smith takes that mutant to his lab and runs. The same medicine on him which he used for that rat, the same rat he thought was healing. He sees that the Dark Seeker's breathing was getting low. His heart rate starts to decrease, and he thinks as if he is healing. That mutant wakes up then. He starts shouting and becomes unconscious. Will Smith becomes hopeless that treatment didn't work completely. Here Will Smith makes a video recording and says the medicine I've developed can work for me, but cannot work for those who are already affected, and I'm trying again and again. So as to recover those Dark Seekers, he also adds that when I was capturing the Dark Seeker, one of them was staring at me. While staring, he came into light, which couldn't affect him. It may be happening because they are starving and changing their lifestyle. Slowly, they are making themselves habitual of sunlight. He was recording all this in a video conference. While living in an American city, about 1,000 days have been passed. One day, he was out with his dog that his feet get stuck in a trap. He becomes upside down in the air. This trap was made by the Dark Seekers because Dark Seeker have ability to think and understand. Now, Will Smith finds himself suspended in midair and loses consciousness. This trap was made in the same way like Will Smith made the other day. Now, the Dark Seekers have copied the same and trapped Will Smith. After sometimes his alarm rings, which means evening is about to prevail. And his dog barks again and again so that he could free himself and can go home, because this time belongs to the Dark Seekers, and they will not spare him. If they reach, he wakes up and takes out the knife from his pocket and cuts the rope. However, As he descends, the rope penetrates his feet. Will Smith approaches his car with the dog, and the same dark seeker appears, which appeared in light that dark. Seeker also had 2 infected dogs. He orders his dogs to attack them both, though. Will Smith kills both the dogs, but one dog bites his own dog. He returns home with his dog and conducts various experiments that do not work on him. He cries a lot and kills his dog by moving his neck, because now his dog had died. And he was alone, as there was no other in the city. This was the saddest part of the story. Will Smith is sad now, so he doesn't come out at the daytime, rather he goes out at nighttime, so that he may kill all the dark seekers and crush them. He was going in his speedy car and crashes all the dark seeker which appear and proceed further. He sticks at one point. His car stops and he experiences an accident. Now Will Smith is injured and the same dark seeker which came out in light appears so as to kill him. Basically, this dark seeker is the boss of every dark seeker. Before he caused any damage to him, an intense light appears and all the dark seekers run away and hide in the darkness as he had an accident, so he was unconscious. He hears the voice, "Where do you live?" He tells his address unconsciously. When he wakes up, he finds his TV was on and a woman was there along with his son. He gets surprised first, then becomes happy. She tells, "We heard your message on FM. We have come here after knowing your location, She says that we kept waiting on the bridge, you told us, but you didn't come today, and we saw you were captured between mutants. So we came to save you, She also tells Will Smith that all of our companions were killed by the dark seekers, and now we both want to go at the place where there must be more humans. That would be the safe location with no virus, and security would be good. Will Smith says, "You must come out of your misunderstandings. There's no such place, She says such a place does exist." Now Will Smith was locking the house, as he does. Anna and her son were also present there. He hears of dark seekers as he was locking the home. They were near his house. He becomes suspicious and asks, "When did you bring me, She tells him morning shall appear soon. Well, Smith tells him that they must have seen me while you were bringing me, and now they will kill us, They have found us. Will Smith was ready for this, and he had put different mines outside. His home so blast could happen as someone enter, so that nobody could enter the home, in that moment. Many seekers start to die as they put their step in, but they were huge in numbers, and they enter his home shortly. Will Smith shoots them with his gun. They believe they have exterminated all mutants and that there is no one left. They come to the same dark seeker, which was present in the lab, who was much recovered, and all the infection was gone. They thought that their treatment is working, and then many dark seekers appear in his lab. His lab was very big, and a bulletproof mirror was present over there. Will Smith closes that window, which was strong enough to stop any type of bullet, which means dark seekers could not enter the place where Will was present. All the dark seekers try to break that window, but they were unsuccessful. He tells them that look at your partner who is getting well. I can treat you as well. The boss of the dark seekers, who is much angry, bumps his head to window, and we see different cracks start to appear and it start breaking slowly. Before the window is shattered, will come. Smith collects a blood sample from the device on which he was working. He takes a blood sample because he chooses to believe he has found the cure. He asks women to sit in a safe chamber and hands over the sample to her and says, "When you get there, give them that sample because it was the cure." She asks Will Smith to come inside, but he says no, as they were unstoppable. We'll have to finish them, He opens up a drawer. He picks up a hand grenade and opens it up by going in. Between them while running, here a big blast happens, after which Will Smith and all dark seekers die. This was a sad moment for all of us. Subsequently, we observe Anna reaching the location she had been aiming to reach. the same place where leftover humans were present, and there was high security so that no dark seeker could come there. She gets the security here and hands over the blood sample to the security there. This was the same cure which Will Smith gave to Anna, and Will Smith gave his life to save humanity as a whole, and that's why this movie was named I Am Legend. Indeed, Will Smith is legend.